Hi everyone, my name is Tony. Today I want to show you how to file KRA VAT returns for or on behalf of a business trader. In this video, I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide on the VAT filing returns process. So VAT is basically value-added tax. VAT is a consumer tax charged on the supply and importation of taxable goods or services that are made in Kenya. A trader, a business trader who makes or intends to make taxable supplies and or has an annual taxable turnover of 5 million and above is required to apply on the iTax system for VAT obligation and thereafter be filing VAT returns. And so VAT payable is actually output tax minus input tax. Output tax means the VAT on sales stroke revenue, while input tax is VAT on purchases. So VAT returns are submitted monthly via iTax on or before the 20th of the following month. Persons with no VAT to declare are required to submit a nil return. So welcome to the video. So you begin by going to the iTax portal. You can access it through this link, through this URL where you're required to log in. So you have to input your login details where you put in your KRA PIN, or rather the company PIN or the business, your business PIN, your business KRA PIN. Then you input your password, and then you do this little arithmetic. Then you can click login to log in into your iTax portal. And then once you've logged in into the iTax portal, you're supposed to select this returns option in the menu. Once you select file return, you're going to have to choose your tax obligation. Select your tax obligation, where you have to tell us whether you're filing income tax return, income tax for payee, or VAT, or income tax rental income. So what you do here, because we are filing VAT returns, you're going to select this value added tax VAT. And then there is, like I've said, you can file nil returns depending on whether you have made transactions in that particular month or not. So if you have made 0 transactions in that particular month, in that tax point, then you're going to file nil returns. But if you haven't, then you're supposed to just file your VAT returns. So in that portal, you're going to have to download that Excel form, VAT Excel form, so that you can input the required details. So you're going to select here original, the entity type, whether it's head office or branch. Whether it's branch, you have to input the branch name and then input the tax period. And then you can download that document. Once you download that document, you have to open it. When you open it, you're going to have to need to enable macros. Enabling macros means that it will be possible for you now to edit that document and input the required details in that Excel worksheet. So we begin by this first part where you're supposed to input your VAT monthly return. So you input your details, Let me show you how to input those details. You're supposed to, once you have the Excel format, you have to put in your PIN, your KRA PIN. Just try to input that number here, that P510. You have to input the company PIN, KRA PIN, and then you have to select the type of return, whether it's original or amended. In this case, we're going to input original, then select the entity type, whether it's head office or branch. We're going to select head office. Then we input the return period. is starting, and then the return period 2 when the month is ending, because it's monthly VAT returns. Then from the section A, basic info, we are done with that. Then you're going to move to section number B, section B, where we are talking about general rated sales. You have to input the general rated sales details. So you begin by inputting the PIN of the purchaser, the KRA PIN of your purchaser, that is your customers. So the KRA PIN of that purchaser, who the name of the purchaser, say the KRA PIN of the purchaser, and then the purchaser say Kenya Limited or whatever. And then you input the ETR serial number. Remember, for you to file VAT returns, you need to have made transactions of sales, and then you've given out that ETR receipt to your customers, and then you have retained a copy of the same so that you can file returns using those receipts. So you have to input the ETR serial number, the invoice date of that ETR, and then the invoice number of that ETR receipt. Then you can describe the type of good that you're selling or the type of service you're selling. Then you're going to input the taxable value. Once you input the taxable value, the amount of VAT taxable value will actually auto-populate. It will auto-populate. So you just have to input the taxable value depending on the sales made. Input the PIN of the purchaser, the name of the purchaser, the ETR serial number, the invoice date, the invoice number, and then you describe the good and then the taxable amount. That is for section B, general rated sales details. Moving to section number C, this has to do with sales and output tax on for other rated sales. Remember, the general rated sales is for the 16% tax VAT. For other rated sales, it's normally 8%. For instance, fuel. For instance, fuel. It has been at 8%, but then we have had a proposal to increase that 8% to 16%. It has actually been effected, so we might not need to input here if we do not have 8% for the other rated cells. And then there is the section for the zero rated cells. In case you have zero rated cells, you input. If you don't have, you just leave it like that. And then the exempt cells, you have any exempt certificate, and then that you are exempted from paying the taxes, you can include him. Where you input the PIN of the purchaser, the name of the purchaser, the ETR serial number, invoice date, invoice number, and then describe the goods. And then the other section is section F, where you're required to input the general rated purchases details. You input the invoice, the invoice number, describe the goods, custom entry. This has to do with inputs. It actually has to do with inputs. And then section G has to do with now the general rated purchases. Remember, we were talking about the general rated sales. Now we've moved to general rated purchases. What you're buying as a business trader, there are purchases you're making. So you have to indicate who is selling you that particular product that you bought. So you have to select whether that type of purchases, are you importing or you're buying it locally. And then you have to input the PIN of the supplier, the person who is supplying you with that good or service, the name of that supplier, the invoice that, remember, they have to issue you with an ETR receipt indicating their KRA PIN. That's where you get the details, and the invoice number, and then describe the goods. Then you're good to go. Input. Then moving on to section H, we talk about zero rated sales. No, zero rated purchases. Sorry. So for the zero rated purchases, if at all you have any, you input. And then section I, exempt purchases, you have any, number to input. Then J, VAT for imported services details, if you have any, you have to include. And then if you have any details for VAT that you paid maybe earlier and stuff, then you include. If you don't have, you just leave this section blank like that. Then if you have any details of VAT withholding, you also have to input. Then section number M, this this will actually auto-populate. You don't have to input any value here, because the first section has to do with the details of the cells. So we have the general rated cells, we have the other rated cells, and then zero rated cells, and then the exempt for the cells. Then for the purchases as well, we have general rated purchases and all that. So this section you just have to skip it because it will auto-populate. You cannot edit this section. You can't edit this section. All right. Moving on to section, that is section M. We move to section O. This is the last actually section. This part, like the output VAT will also auto-populate. The input VAT will also auto-populate. VAT claimable will auto-populate. So you just have to input details here, here, and here, and then the rest will auto-populate. Like the credit brought forward from the previous month. Like if you filed your monthly returns for the previous month, then you have arrears that you can pay to carry. You can input here and say, this is the credit brought forward that I'm supposed to pay to include together with this, so that I clear the debt. Then if total withholding VAT credit, if at all you supplied your goods to someone who is certified to withhold, then you're supposed to indicate here. Then if you want to claim a refund, you can input here the amount. Then we're good to go. So at this point, the total amount of tax is supposed to be, like in this case, it's 32. This is the net VAT payable. This is the amount you're supposed to pay to carry. If you have to input the details, all of the details, so that you have an accurate figure. Remember, we didn't input accurate figure, so you have to check your business data and make sure you're keying in what is necessary. So after you've input like that, you have to click validate. It's going to ask you to just a minute. Yep. Just a minute. Yeah. So here, generated sales and output tax for the period. We have input all of those details, purchases and input tax for the period, sales, goods and services. Where now this is now the auto-populated data here as well. And then now you have to validate the exact amount. Oh no, you see, once you reach here, well, we've given you the details of the total input VAT and the total output VAT. Remember, VAT payable is output tax, which is this output tax minus input tax. That will give you the amount of tax that you're supposed to pay, the net VAT payable. You have to click to validate this document. Then there will be a prompt here which says sheets are ready to be uploaded. Do you want to generate an upload? Where you click yes, and then allow it to generate that upload file. Then once that is done, you have to go back to the iTax portal. You have to go back to the iTax portal here, where you're supposed to select somewhere down here to download, to upload that file that has been generated after validating. Then you click file return and you're done. Is there anything else we need to add? After that, after you have uploaded that document, you need to download that return slip, that acknowledgement receipt that you have filed. That it's actually an e-return acknowledgement receipt to indicate that you have actually filed it. And in this case, this is like a nil return where output VAT is 0, input VAT is 0, and all that. So this is it. But if it's not 0, then you have to make that payment. So VAT return payment module actually looks like this. So you have your PIN here, taxpayer's name, and your address, email address, and all that, the details. Selected payment records, like this guy has a penalty that you didn't file returns on time. Remember, when you don't file your returns on time, KRA will impose a penalty of 10,000 on you. So you make sure you file your returns on time. So add payment and liability details. This after payment, you're going to download this payment receipt. This is what is going to help you directing which bank are you going to pay. Then you can go ahead and pay the VAT amount due. Then generate that payment slip again, indicating the total amount. Then you submit and download the payment slip. Submit and download the payment slip. Then you're done. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you